Well, one of my favorite episodes of Duck Dynasty is probably not your favorite. It was Siamese twins when you got handcuffed to Uncle Si.
Yeah. Actually, I do like that episode.
Okay.
I mean, it's funny. It's super funny. Yeah, I learned that I never again in my life want to be that close to that man. Because what you couldn't see on TV, I could smell. Uncle Si, he's a piece of work. You know, the question I always get is Uncle Si really like that in real life? And I will ask all you guys in Chattanooga, do you think you could fake that for that long? He's worse. He's worse in real life, so I can tell you that.
All right, you may be seated, and I'm not going to take long, guys, just a few minutes, and I just wanted to encourage you to respond to what you've heard today. In that episode of Duck Dynasty where you have Willie handcuffed to Uncle Si, they can't find the key. So much of the episode, they're trying to figure out a way to get out of those handcuffs. Uncle Si has a file, he tries to file it off. Jace has a hacksaw, Jep comes up with a torch, a flaming torch. They said, no, I don't think so. So they go to Phil's house, try to get some bolt cutters to cut it. And so the episode comes to an end. They're having their family dinner, the classic meal around the table. And at the table, Willie and Uncle Si, they're still handcuffed together at the table. And so the episode's coming to an end. The credits are rolling. The camera is spanning out from the inside of the house to outside of the house. And you can't see them anymore, but you hear a conversation between Jace and Willie. And Jace says to Willie, hey, Willie, how mad would you be if I told you I've had the keys the whole time? Jace had the keys the whole time. So maybe you're here today, and in that moment that Willie was in, maybe you're like that. Maybe you're not so happy because you're handcuffed to maybe bitterness or unforgiveness. Maybe you've been arrested by your own anger, apprehended by your own anxiousness. Maybe you've been abducted by your own addiction. Maybe you find yourself booked in the brick house of brokenness or bitterness. Or maybe you find yourself shackled with shame. Or maybe you find yourself restrained by religion or seized by your own sin. Maybe you find yourself gripped with guilt. Maybe you're fettered to fear and you're locked down in your loneliness, or you're jailed in your jealousy, and you've got these handcuffs on and you can't get them off. And if you don't have any of those handcuffs, all of us are handcuffed to death and Hades. We're all handcuffed to death. It is appointed for man to die once, and then comes judgment. So we're all handcuffed to death and Hades. But how glad would you be if I told you today that Jesus, not Jace, but Jesus has had the keys the whole time to that sin that has you handcuffed? Jesus has had the keys the whole time. He's got the keys to your cuffs.